It is Tuesday, April 14th, and it's time for another garden update. But first, the chickens, who are 9 weeks old today. Hello. Oh, you guys are so much nicer after you've had breakfast. Hi, Nugget. Here, why don't you guys have that out there? Oh, well, what did you do out there, Missy? How'd you get out? Come on. Well, I might have to get her back in. Come on. You heard of herding cats? Herding chickens is similar. Come on. Here, let's get your door open. Right here. Come on. Chickens are not that bright. Come on, honey. There we go. All right. Would you like your close-up? They're thoroughly enjoying their gigantic yard. Nugget. Let's go take a look at the garden. We are having a very, very cold snap this week, where temperatures at night are in the 30s, so nothing new has gone out. But some of my cold-loving plants are doing really well. So here's the broccoli bed, and you can see that these plants are growing quite a bit. And then back here, the peas are also taking off. This big tall one keeps trying to hold on, then keeps letting go. So, they're doing well. The little kohlrabi starts back here are starting to take off too, getting taller and stronger. And then the lettuces are looking beautiful. This little gym is really filled out. But all of the lettuces are doing really well. And the kale has finally gotten some good real leaves. So I think it's finally going to start to grow out here. All right, let's go to the back bed. This end is the beets, and I filled in a lot with mulch just because of the cold temperatures we were getting, making sure the ground was covered and keeping its warmth as much as possible. So it's a little harder to see the rows, but everything is growing well. The onions along the back are doing good. But yeah, the beets are popping up slowly but surely. They're just really hard to see under the mulch. And then down here, the turnips are actually starting to get true leaves, as you can see. So they are doing well as well. Again, filled in with mulch, so they're harder to see, but they're there. And my one sole pea plant on this side is doing okay, hoping to get more peas out here today. Alright, you can see the frost blanket over here on my nasturtiums. I've just got them covered because it is so cold at night this week. But you can maybe see through the frost blanket there that they're doing okay. They're fine. They're just covered. My cabbage plants are doing really well, getting bigger, and my purple cauliflower as well is growing fine. I'm still not sure about this amazing cauliflower. I've got one that is going to grow for sure, and maybe another down the way a little bit, but just not real sold on that variety. Try to get pictures here of the carrots, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see them through the mulch, but there are little bits of carrot leaves coming up. And they seem to be handling the cold as well. Down here, the Kyoto red carrot leaves are a little easier to see. I'm learning something this year on this back bed. It's going to have my hot weather loving peppers and okra and tomato mainly, that I severely underutilized this bed for this early time of year before those plants can go out or start to grow. So next year I'll plant more here in the early spring. But here are the Brussels sprouts. They're growing well and starting to stand up taller, except for this back one here, which is still seedlings. I don't know if that one's ever going to do anything. Alright, the tatsoi plants are growing and filling out. They grow in a neat rosette type pattern, so they're filling out like that. Let's come back to these beds. I'm not growing sticks, but I did need to cover this one night where it did get down to a freeze, so I put the sticks up to hold the blanket off of the herbs. But again, the chamomile is really filling in well. The rosemary has definitely grown. Sage is flourishing as well. There's the thyme, still tiny but growing. And back in the back, the oregano, also still tiny but growing. The strawberries have really perked up. Last week they were still laying down, but you can see how tall they've gotten up here. And the new ones that I planted are also growing. So strawberries are doing well. Garlic is huge at this point. And then, let's see if I can show you my poor tulips. They have not enjoyed the 30-degree weather at night. But I can show you in the potato bag, you see the green. I do have potatoes sprouted and growing, so that's exciting. I was worried for a while they weren't going to do anything. Up here on the porch, I have my little lettuce that I'd started early inside, and I need to make a salad today, clearly. Those leaves are getting big. The green stalk lettuce is actually doing really well also, and I need to harvest some of those larger leaves today when I do the other. So there's lettuce growing all the way around it. Up here at the salad bar, the radishes are growing away, and I think that one day this week I will pop in new rows of radishes in between these and let them get started. There's the tatsoi plant back there, and then our lettuce. You may notice this big empty rack. That's because it's been so cold at night I can't leave my plants out, so they are coming out today, but I will show you what they look like inside. Alright, welcome to my dining room table. All of the plants that should be outside are here, but doing well. So in just about half an hour to an hour I'll put them outside. It's above 40 now. So I'll get them out so they can get some sun, because even though it was over 45 yesterday during the day, it was super windy, like 15-mile-an-hour winds. And unfortunately, on a shelf, those tall tomato plants would have just been blown over and probably died. So they're anxious to get some sun today. I've got one last new thing to show you inside in my grow setup. Is the beans that I have started. These two trays here are all beans. So they are doing really, really well. And I love seeing the gigantic soil disruption that happens when they pop through. And then over here, I have melons, and I have squash, pumpkins, things like that. They're all coming up. Down here on this end, I've got some okra coming up, and then I've got some zucchini planted, but it has not germinated yet. That is the garden update for today, and I will see you next week.